Naiwasaningaw na niba katara vakapin pinatay. Bola. Oya wasala bilawa. Do pata kiyaw may nadiwa kinatini karona kaloko na single ni moniti kina vakaromboka. Kako ni valatana no musini sari na kaisa marianda loloma leo ne vani ni nau omgori ke de may nadiwa kinatini karona kaloko na single ni moniti kina vakaromboka na Bula FM number 2 en sere.
Bula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, harrowing details of a disabled woman living in squalid conditions. People's Democratic Party says it's all about moving Fiji forward. And bounty on the heads of American iguanas. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spades and you're watching FBC News. There are shocking revelations tonight that a 30-year-old woman has been living in a chicken pen inside her own home because of her mental condition. For confidentiality reasons, we can't reveal the woman's name or where she lives. Vosita Kotai Wasawasa has mourned how the woman has had little help and virtually no contact with the outside world.
This is the house in Nosori where the woman has spent her entire life looked after by her stepfather, no medical attention or professional help of any kind. Concerned citizens visited the home yesterday and took these pictures. There is no furniture to show any signs of comfort. The woman has been said to be chained inside the chicken mesh cage whenever her stepfather can't handle her behavior. There are no visitors allowed in the house, not even the neighbors.
According to the neighbors, they said that even we go to his house to visit and he doesn't let us in. And sometimes when he is crying really hard, what he does, he puts her inside the chicken pen.
Doreen Singh says she led a team of social workers, nurses and police to the house so that they could get access to the woman. What they saw was heartbreaking.
I have pictures showing that she was in a room, located in a room. The room has so many holes on the floor and the windows were so awkward way. The house was such a weird and a dirty kind place where she was tied with a rope.
The team found the woman in this corner, barely clothed, and took her to the Nosori Health Center, hoping to have her admitted at St. Giles Hospital for treatment. The hospital refused to take her in. Tonight, she is back in the same house and Doreen Singh is afraid for her welfare.
We asked the father, where has she been sleeping? He said since there was no mattress, she's been sleeping on that same floor in that room. And we asked about the food. When we saw the plate, there was only rice, the dried rice. She was in such an inhumane way and she was treated such an ill, I can't describe the way I saw her.
Questions have been sent to the Health Ministry while medical officer in charge at the St. Giles Hospital, Dr. Penny Moy, was in a meeting and could not respond. Vosita Kotai Wasawasa, FBC News.
A new play in Fiji's political arena is promising new faces when it contests next year's elections. The People's Democratic Party believes it's time the younger generation takes over leadership of Fiji. Roland Karoy reports.
Out with the old and in with the new. At least that's what the People's Democratic Party believes should happen if Fiji is to prosper.
Basically, those leaders who were there in '87, we still see the same leaders today. And what difference have they brought to the country? All we have seen is political chaos, confusion, and the party, People's Democratic Party, has come out to sort of restore confidence in the younger generation.
The party is expected to be launched in October, where party officials will also be named.
When you'll see our lineup, you'll see a complete new set of leaders representing diverse cultural, social, and economic life of this country. So you'll see younger generation, probably a new slate of candidates representing younger generation.
Nirmal Singh has also assured that the PDP's objectives aren't entirely political in nature.
We are not here to take leadership role. We are not here to sort of go into parliament. We are not here promoting ourselves. We are working as facilitators so that our younger generation take the running of this country in their hands.
The People's Democratic Party says it will not criticize past or the present government or even dwell on incidents of the past. It says the government has taken positive steps towards elections in 2014, and for now, getting beyond that remains their primary focus. Roland Koroi, FBC News.
Singatoka has a new special administrator following the surprise removal of Aisetu Inraki on Monday. Jay White, a tourist business operator, told FBC News that he received a phone call from the government this week telling him of his new appointment. Christopher Chand reports.
He's got Singatoka at heart, an ambassador for the town for many years. White is also taking up the office without pay.
From my point of view, true public service is a donated or a given entity. Some of the greatest services around the world are from volunteers, and I just thought, you know, I can do this and I don't really need to be compensated for it. I just want to feel like I'm contributing to the society in Fiji.
Yesterday he met the Prime Minister and Attorney General.
Jay White has been appointed permanently to the post, and Praveen Bala is acting until such time as a permanent administrators can be found for now.
I received a phone call from the Attorney General, basically sounding me out, and I said I'd be more than happy to help. I love Singatoka, I love Fiji, so more than happy to do what I can.
White owns the famous Singatoka River Safari and is the chairman of the Coral Coast Sevens. But could his business become a conflict of interest with his new role as administrator?
That's a valid question. I'm certainly going to be as independent as I can be. I'm certainly not there for my own personal gain, as we already talked about earlier. My vision is to help Singatoka grow and also to work on its strengths. I really want to push the message of it being a rugby town. You know.
His immediate plan is to meet with the people of Singatoka on Tuesday night and form a key consultative committee to promote the town as a tourist destination. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
And Chris joins us now live from Nandi. Chris, can you tell us what has happened with the former Special Administrator for Singatoka and CEO of Nandi Town Council?
Jackie, we have spoken to FICAC and they say they are continuing investigations against Aisetu Inraki, who was sacked as administrator of both Singatoka and Nandi, and Nemia Tangi, the CEO of Nandi Town Council. The two are being investigated for alleged corrupt practices, but no further details are being released. We are unlikely to hear anything else until and unless charges are laid, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Christopher. More than 400 students of Lomaivuna High School and 3 people now have access to computers and the internet. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama opened the 12th telecenter in Naitasiri this morning. Apisalo Madoka reports.
This is the government's commitment to give every Fijian access to modern communications.
It wasn't long ago that computers and the internet were only for wealthier people in our towns and cities. The opportunity to benefit from the information revolution was for them and not for the ordinary people.
Bainimarama told the people of Lomaivuna that they weren't the first and they won't be the last to be connected.
By the end of the year, 60,000 Fijians, including 5,000 students, will have access to the internet at more than 20 telecenters around Fiji.
This has benefited all the school, especially for the students. They'll have access to the rest of Fiji, and not only Fiji, but for the rest of the world.
Very good to the students and the community. From 3 and 4, they're doing tasks. From 6 and 7 and from 5, they're doing their projects, and they help them a lot.
New telecenters in remote locations around Fiji are designed to empower people in the lead up to elections.
They're opening at a very exciting time in our country's history, in the lead up to parliamentary elections next year. The internet gives you a new way to stay up to date with what's happening in Fiji. It empowers you to make your own decision.
Similar centers will be rolled out in other, as yet unconnected villages in Fiji. Apisalo Madoka, FBC News.
Coming up, new inter-island vessel to ease shipping woes.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है, 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च एफएम। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. 4 dresses uniquely Fiji are now in the running as our national costume at this year's Miss World pageant in Indonesia. This time, you have the power to choose the dress, as organisers have launched a voting platform via text messaging. Chanel Sivan looks at the new designs.
One of these dresses will be worn by Miss World Fiji during the competition in Jakarta. You will decide which one.
10% of all texts that are generated from this promotion will go to the Dharamaka Pathway Educational Fund. That's a educational fund that has been set up by Ministry of Education in conjunction with the Arts Council. And basically what that does is they are trying to supply all the schools throughout Fiji art supplies.
This dress represents wind. The masi is adorned with seashells and Tangi Modia print. Water is depicted using black pearls and seashells braided on a masi dress. Now this colorful design includes tapa, red coral, seashells and pearls representing fire. And last but not the least, earth, an elegant design using masi, black pearls, seashells and a trail of mangi-mangi.
Be able to portray climate change, as well as create a costume that would equally express our tradition, but at the same time be at a standard that appeals to international audiences.
We're trying to create an image that once you look at it with or without the sash, with Kyrene wearing it, you see Fiji.
Miss World Fiji Kyrene Erbsleben says she is delighted to have the public choose her costume. Organizers say there won't be any controversies regarding the costume this year, since Fijians will have a say in the final decision. Texting is now open on 4334 for TFL users and 866 for Vodafone and Inc users. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The 20 new vehicles outfitted with state-of-the-art technology that were used in the recent G77 meeting have been allocated for VIP functions only. This has been confirmed by the Permanent Secretary in the Prime Minister's Office, Lieutenant Colonel Pio Tikondondua. The new Hongqiu HI vehicles, which cost $4 million, were given by the Chinese government last month. They were initially earmarked to be allocated to government ministries and departments after the G77 meeting held in Singatoka. However, Tikondondua says they will now only be used for VIP functions hosted by the Fijian government. The cars are being kept at the Queen Elizabeth Barracks in Namboa Suva. Islands, especially the Lau Group, will soon enjoy frequent shipping services after Seaview Shipping brought in a new vessel. The MV Sandy 2 will make its first voyage to Lakemba in Laos on Monday. Islanders in the Lau Group have been greatly affected by regular shipping services, and owners of this new vessel say there will now be some consistency.
People are so desperate, and of course the operational cost at the moment is not easy because the fuel price is really high.
The Lady Sandy, meanwhile, will leave Suva for Moala on Sunday. That time again, our man in the suit joins us. Jamie, how about that game last night? Good to see such a big turnout as well.
Yes, it was, Jackie. I think the thousands that did show up to the ANZ Stadium definitely set the atmosphere for a great night of rugby. Well, we'll take a look back at the action from last night after the break, and we continue with the Vodafone Fiji Fact Build-Up. Stay with us.
Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Centre Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Welcome back, you with FBC Sports. It was a match which attracted thousands to the NZ Stadium as the Flying Fijians beat the classic All Blacks 33-14 last night. And it took a revamped second-half performance from the Fijians to seal the win for the Centennial Celebration match. Indra Singh has more.
Here's the joy of the game.
This was the icing on the cake last night.
Forward, and it's Somodha. Won't he be happy with it? Somodha has made it 81 points to 14.
And his skipper summed it up best what he thought of the try and the result.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a classic All Blacks with the classic Fijian style. So, yeah, I just want to thank God for that game and thank God for the win.
The Flying Fijians playing in front of a packed house did, however, have to pull out all the tricks in the book to ensure the thousands who turned up didn't go home disappointed. A resurgent second-half performance carried the Fijians through.
It's massive. It's massive. It's not only for us. It's for the guys who won the JC from the first time, and for us who will continue from now on, and for the great support that we have today. It's all for that, and especially for our family back at home.
His opposite had only good things to say about the Fijians and had a special message.
Fijians are on the rise. The rugby here has got a great vibe about it, and the rugby that they're playing is showing that. I think New Zealand will see that. This is televised back home as well, as you know, it's going back there. So I think New Zealand teams would love to come out here and play in this type of environment.
The national team flies off to Japan this weekend for the resumption of the Pacific Nations Cup, which remains the focal point. The game showed what rugby means to this country, and no better way to attract one of the biggest crowds to Lodala and giving them a win, no matter how hard fought it was. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, live FBC coverage of the game last night was welcomed by viewers. Most of the public who are not able to make it to the grounds were glued to their TV screens and were not disappointed.
We love the game from last night, FBC Sports.
Yeah, it was good. I would say it's close to overseas standard. I would say it's really good. They had every angle, and most probably the graphics as well was really good. So we got to see the players in action and say it's more than live.
According to watching the FBC TV yesterday, it was quite awesome looking at it, the game and the commentary, how they managed to do it. It was a very good commentary job.
Looks like we might have an understudy for a rugby commentator right there. But moving on with sports, the atmosphere at the NZ Stadium last night would have overwhelmed many. For those of you who have been with the project from its early stages, last night was an opportunity to see their vision come to reality. However, as Elena McDonald reports, everything comes with a price.
This is what the Fiji Sports Council would like to see at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Packed crowds cheering on their teams. But can the state-of-the-art pitch hold its ground with competitions week after week?
Still early in its growing factor, you know, and they have advised us to cut back or not to hold so many games. The grass has to really establish itself more.
While maintaining the pitch is crucial, the FSC is currently in a state where it can't turn down any major events.
We've spent $20 million. We have a interest bill to the banks of about $500,000 a month. Yeah, we want money. We need, economically, we have to. But we are being very careful.
For those of you who were lucky enough to be at the ANZ Stadium to witness the Flying Fijians Classic All Blacks match, there was one thing missing: a scoreboard. But what we found out from Fiji Sports Council officials, they've got one more surprise in store for us later this year, and it's going to be situated right there.
We have the foundations for the new big screen going in. That's going to be an exciting, and I know people have really wanted that for last night, and I certainly did. I kept forgetting the score.
Despite all the logistics, officials are promising another great event this weekend with the Vodafone Fiji Fact. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Effect gets underway in Suva on Saturday with 8 teams vying for the title. As Indra Singh finds out, there'll be a set of players that could be the key to success for their teams.
Goal scoring will be the foundation which will lay the platform for teams as they vie for the first major of the year. Based on the form so far this season, there are a number of top marksmen who will hold this key.
We have got Ali from the Lautoka side, then Suba, Samuel Adrundro. He's the top goal scorer, and I think in this condition he'd love it. He's got the speed, and if fit, and as I presume that he may lead the Suba side in this tournament, he certainly is the top striker in this tournament. But you got to watch out for Chonesala Une, who's with the Jacks Nandi side. He is certainly a player. Once we saw his glimpse of him in the first game back. So there certainly will be some good strikers that are the potential. I feel that Sunny Isa also be a person that a lot of people have forgotten. This sort of ground will certainly suit him too in these conditions.
Suva being the defending champions will surely start as one of the top bets. But this being an 8-team tournament, there are lots which could happen.
Suva's All Freight Logistics, All Freight sponsored logistic Suva side will certainly be a team to watch. A lot of people may think that they've gone, judging from their last games in the National League, they certainly look a good side also. But as far as the other side, that on the other pool, when you look at it, Lautoka are looking a good bet, and we read in the media that Navua have dropped some players. So Lautoka certainly, the design engineering Lautoka side will be looking good too.
Thorat believes this being the first tournament of the season, fans will turn up in numbers to support their respective teams. And this will be needed by the 8 teams taking part this weekend at the ANZ Stadium. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
I'm sure the fans will get to witness some great soccer this weekend. That wraps up sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie now for business.
Bank South Pacific welcomed its new Chief Executive Officer today. Robin Fleming has more than 30 years' experience at BSP in Papua New Guinea. Fleming has helped the bank expand its footprint in PNG and the Pacific. The group CEO has been credited with building a strong team with a robust succession plan. He says he looks forward to leading BSP into its next phase.
To make BSP a bank that people want to bank with, that they feel proud to be a customer of, that they will do their banking activities and transactions with BSP, not because we're the only bank in a particular area or a particular centre, but because we offer a service and a sales and products which the customers appreciate and are prepared to pay a fair fee for.
Fleming has taken over from Ian Klein, who left the bank at the beginning of this month. Weather time now, and Jen's here to fill us in.
Well, it wasn't the sunniest of days today. We had showers in Suva, Savu-Savu and Lambasa. However, there was fine weather in the morning for Nandi, Lautoka and Ba, followed by afternoon clouds. Ba and Lambasa are both at 31 degrees on today's chart, with everyone else following closely behind. Tomorrow's weather is showing a whole lot of clouds and quite a bit of showers. The west, though, just like today, is going to have some fantastic conditions in the morning, so make the most of it. And we're back to another beautiful sunset this evening. Tanaka Rishnilov Ba for taking this while you were at the beach. In case anyone's forgotten, Citizens Eyes at fbc.com.fj is the email address for all your original scenic shots. Whether it's a waterfall or the sun setting over your backyards, we want it. On that note, have an enjoyable evening, stay safe, and please stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. And recapping our headlines, there are concerns over the welfare of a 30-year-old mentally disabled woman who's been living without professional care. People's Democratic Party says it's all about taking Fiji forward, and 4 dresses uniquely Fiji, you decide. On to our poll question now. And we ask, should we have a national ID card? As always, visit www.fbc.com.fj to answer. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's all for tonight. Good evening.
Nimbula, methangu nimilote na isoro tambua. Nama kia umina rua kina ona na via kavi moniti kina whakaraumuka. Rongo mena via sama kina vibaga marota kini ndreko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na wongani pia uniano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Ni sambulo binaka, oya wane kamanalangi, o ni nandorungo viau, may nadiwa kina rua na bisinga, may namoniti kina wakarumbuka na Radio Fiji 1 nandoma ibiti wongani pia uniano. Nama katalangana benga na sasibiani na tinakaloka na bembongi ni bukilulu. Kena vima maniwalu na bembongi ni bakarawai, may nambuza ni balu, ningay namaka.